Oh, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the best, the greatest combat sports show in all of pro wrestling. Everything we doing here, man. We got the Royal Rundown, episode 11. We are starting off a little different today, man. We have a fun show for you guys. Miss Dreda is going to join us. She'll be here with us. But before we can get to that, on today's menu, we're going to go ahead and cover a little bit of backlash. Some backlash. We're going to talk about what's happening this Sunday with that. We're going to say also what is the best show in the WWE. Is it Raw? Is it SmackDown? I don't know. We're going to go ahead and discuss. What else? Becky Lynch shoots on AEW. We're going to talk about the best current storylines in AEW. And we have a special guest. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce this gentleman. This gentleman is a broadcast journalist. He is somebody who has worked with everyone from ESPN, WWE, and he is even with The Ringer with his show, Mack MANIA. You might have even seen him on WWE's Evil series, all up and down. I'm talking about none other than the legend himself, Evan Mack. Brother.
What's going on? Hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está?
Dude, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And for everybody watching us live right now, thank you so much for joining us. Miss Dreda will be here in a little bit. She had to take care of some business. Brother,
you got to bring the ladies on, man.
Much.
We need a woman on because we want the fellas to stay around, brother.
You know what? I've realized very early on doing this show, they're not here for me. They're definitely not here for me. They're here for her. So, and she is the brains of this operation. I just set up the boards. That's all I do here and set up the questions. But, brother, thank you so much for joining me, man.
Thanks,
this
brother.
is going to be a lot of fun. We have so much to talk about because, I don't know if it's just me, but there's been some really good wrestling going on.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that. But, dude, you are somebody that, first time I saw you, you were with the Bump in WWE, and now you have honestly one of my favorite podcasts. Aside from my own, favorite podcast in all of honestly pro wrestling. It's the show that I go to, even on the Ringer, Wrestling Network. Out of all those, and they have some phenomenal shows on there. Your show, and I'm not just saying it because to blow smoke because you're here. It is my favorite show out of the bunch, and watching you even on after seeing you from the Bump and then while listening to your podcast, seeing you pop up on the Evil series, fam, I felt like I saw my cousin up there. I was like, look at my boy, there he is.
It was so crazy. It's so crazy too because it's one of those things where I appreciate everything you said, bro. It means a lot. You don't even know, man, because truly just trying to come up with different ways to talk wrestling because I know there's because if you know anything about wrestling community, sometimes it can be a little bit negative, even though everyone still watches everything. There's still have a tendency. Somehow some of the fans have a tendency to hate on everything, you know what I mean, because they're so close to the product. That's Marvel fans, that's DC fans, Star Wars fans, wrestling fans are just like that, you know what I mean? So when I'm coming up with the show and coming up with ideas for the show, I just wanted it to be fun and everyone to laugh and have a good time and hopefully bring on a guest or two and just they can talk their stuff too and hopefully show everyone that we can talk all wrestling, not just WWE, because everyone thinks we're getting paid off by WWE, even though WWE don't pay me nothing, Sergio. They don't pay me a dime, baby.
hey, but you know what, bro? I'm telling you, when you listen to your show, you have such a good cast of characters that you have on there, man. You guys all have really good camaraderie, and also, come on, man, we from the same area, it's interesting to see a show talking about pro wrestling with a bunch of people that look like us. And it's really dope to hear those voices from first listening to the pod and then hearing the pod and saying, hold on, who else is on here? Then you see it and you're like, again, it feels like you're home. And when you're talking about it with your homies, can you speak to that a little bit, man, and how that's been even placing your team together?
Yeah, it's one of those things that was interesting, as far as that goes, and as a black man, when you hear me or you hear my name, you don't know that I probably am. And then you see me, okay, that's a brother. So then we have to do this thing where I don't want to alienate people that are not a person of color. So because I want everyone to know that the number one goal is that everyone's welcome. However, we still have to address certain things, especially that come up for the culture, certain things that come up that have to be talked about from a perspective that I have, because it's just because you can't ignore elephants in the room. You can't ignore where if you feel like someone's being slighted because of their race. You can't. So you have to. You know how hard it is to be an ethnic person, especially in media, right? We have to be a certain way, but we can't come off like we're too militant, but we also gotta include everybody, but we can't be too threatening. If we raise our voice a certain way, that means we hate everybody. So we have to do this thing where we juggle things around, my brother. We got a double dutch, baby. We got a double dutch, baby. So like, and before we and the jump rope going like this,
fast, man, just like those girls back in middle school using that joint moving, man. Like it absolutely was like that. I know it.
So that's what it's about, trying to make it fun by also talking about stuff that happens, talking about things that happen in the bit, talking about like the Mustafa Ali stuff, talking about things that affect. It's because it's real.
You brought that up, and especially speaking of the Mustafa Ali thing, like the way that the Miz and them, came at him. You were literally the only person that I heard out there speaking on that in the way that you did. Like, yo, this is kind of fucked up. Like,
this dude's a proud Muslim, man.
Yeah,
you can. I know he was feeling some type of way when they wrote it. He was like,
he was like, so this is what we doing, huh?
So we doing that? Okay, we doing that. All right. Okay, you know what? All right, I know.
They also got him getting his ass kicked left and right by everybody. Like he can't even get a dub. My man wins a fight. He has to fight two dudes. He gets up and then he gets whacked in the back of the head by Ciampa, who is. I guess he's just Ciampa now. I don't know.
If Mustafa Ali wins any gold within the next decade, it's all worth it to me. I would just be a happy man. If by 2032 he wins the gold, I will be I might turn into a Muslim. I might just I just might change religion just because I'd be so happy, man. I'm like,
Alhamdulillah. We're out here. Like, what I'm saying?
Going to hell right now. Listen, no disrespect, baby. No,
look, man, this is why I'm missing Dre. She's the one that pulls me back.
She's the one. Oh, we need her, man. He's off the chain. He went off the deep end already.
Hey, man, come on, man. I'm an MMA guy. You know how
Yeah. What's that? I know y'all know you're interviewing me, but what's that like? What's MMA like, man? The MMA world and being into that, as far as like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as there's nothing like a real fighter, and I don't knock boxers, because boxers are real fighters in their own right. But I mean, the MMA is just a different animal as far as being able to do different styles, different techniques, different sizes, different weight classes. So what was that MMA thing like, as far as just getting involved in that, and just being a person? Put like this, it takes a special person to know they're about to get hit in the face, because as an MMA person, you're going to get
crazy
hit.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. You're gonna get hit in the face. So what's it like? What kind of person are you? Because I don't care how good you are at MMA. I don't care if you're John Jones. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're what's it called, Khabib. You're gonna get hit in the face, and it going into even sparring. So what's that like, man?
Well, I mean, just even for people listening, a little bit about myself. Like I'm one of those lifelong martial artists. First sport that my parents ever put me in was like point taekwondo and stuff when I was a kid.
Ooh.
So I started, and then I was a Ninja Turtles fan, Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I was watching that. I was involved in that, and I kind of kept going through it, throughout, growing up. When I got to high school, I picked up boxing. When I got to college, I picked up Muay Thai, and Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. So I kind of just I added things along the way to the point where I was starting to compete and get myself to a level where I felt as if I was ready to turn pro. Unfortunately, that didn't come to fruition because I ended up getting cancer. So I ended up stopping competing. But in terms of getting yourself ready and prepared, it's just like just like any other sport, you're getting yourself, and you have to have a specific mindset, right? And you're just okay, this is about to happen. Like if you ever, you don't care if it's basketball. Before a game, you're like, okay, this is what's going to happen. I've prepared my mind, my body for this specific, But the people that get to the highest of high levels, man, Yo, they different, bro. They're built different.
I'm
not built like them. I'm not built like them, man. Like I said, if I was, I would have came back. You know, I didn't. I was like, you know what? I like it over here, sitting on this side of the mic. This is better.
Chilling. I'm good over here. It's comfortable over here. I'm good.
You know, and don't get it twisted. I've never stopped training. I never stopped working out. I enjoy the grind, and that's the thing, right? There's some weird about like martial arts and stuff. It's like there's some weird like fucking like samurai shit that goes on in your head that you're like, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm focused, I'm mind, body, spirit. It's a really good thing. And for me, I look at myself as like a martial artist. So there's like a different thing. Some people want to fight. I don't want to fight nobody. All right. Like I'm here for the sport of it, have a good time, like improve myself. And I used to enjoy doing that shit. But at this point in time, ain't nobody hitting my body. Like, fuck that. Like, nah.
Like, I'm good. I'm
saying I ain't going for that. But bro, let me ask you this, man, because you've been able to, like, what drew you to pro wrestling, man? Like, what was it? Because again, you don't see a lot of us out there, you know, really get into it. You're seeing more now, but being a young dude growing up, like I said, you an 80s baby. What got you into pro wrestling?
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, back in the day, you know, I just think when it was on TV at certain times or the Saturdays or, you know, before we was growing up, you know, couldn't afford the pay-per-views. You know, my parents wasn't paying no 50 because I don't want the young bucks out there don't understand. Pay-per-views have always been expensive.
Man,
so it's not nothing we dealing with new. Pay-per-views have been expensive since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? So like we never got that. So any kind of wrestling I got, whether my mother or father putting something on, or my my earliest memories being on a Macho Man. You know, my earliest memories being like just a little bit of flair, but my you know, the ones that stick in your head, the bright colors when you're a kid, the Hogans of the world, the Ultimate Warriors of the world, Mr. Perfect when I was growing up. Like, so those are like my earliest memories, and you get into it and you fall and wrestling's like a soap opera. So sometimes you fall out of it. I know people that know every single match. I know people that know what trunk so-and-so was wearing in the 1994 Royal Rumble. I know that, but there's a lot of wrestling fans like me that take breaks from wrestling. And it's just because not whether it's jobs, paying bills, life, getting caught up into something else. And that's what it was for me. I remember WCW. I remember all the Attitude Era. There's that my gap was during like SmackDown-ish when Batista was kind of running amok. So that was kind of like my
same thing with me. That's
not even a diss. That's just when things started happening, bro. You gotta start getting responsibilities. Your parents like, you better get your ass a job, or you better go to school. You better figure out something. And like, so
that's high school. Like when you
with all due respect,
like, absolutely.
So with all due respect, like I can't even focus on that product. It's every Monday. You know, it's 2 or 3 hours a day. And then there's New Japan, there's Ring of Honor. Now AEW's kicking in. There's this, that, and the third. So as I'm going through the ranks and always having that love and passion for wrestling, I'm in LA. I'm getting done with my degree. There's a broadcasting platform called AfterBuzz TV where they bring people in that volunteer their time in a studio. It's not paid, but you get out what you put in. And they do after shows. So they kind of created the platform of you watch the reality show, then you come in the studio and you talk about the reality show. So they had the same thing with Raw and SmackDown and NXT. So they had a Raw after show, NXT after show, and a SmackDown after show. So I was a part of the Raw after show, and that's kind of that kind of reignited my love for it because I had to watch every single show come in. So think about it. When you're on the West Coast, it's okay because you watch the 3 hours. It's only 10 o'clock. You hop in at 10 o'clock. Go to 10 to 11. So 3 hours of wrestling, then we talk about it for an hour, and then rinse, wash, repeat. And I'm like, man, I'm starting to love this again. Coming up with ideas and segments and finding a passion. Didn't know somebody was scouting me from Stanford. They brought me in. That's how the whole bump thing happened. So without AfterBuzz, the bump thing don't happen. But here the thing is, as soon as I was getting settled with LA, I was like, yo, I'm good here. That's when I got the call. So it's kind of bittersweet. It was a great experience for those 2 years there. It was a stressful 2 years at WWE, but it was bittersweet because I finally started getting settled in that expensive ass city, LA. And I was like, and when you
I'm in that city now.
Bro, and I kid you not, and it's not like I took it for granted. It's just that I'm too busy trying to pay rent to appreciate the food and the culture and the vibes and the dope places and the people and how you can ski and surf in the same day and all this stuff like that. And I'm sitting back, it's a vibe. It's a vibe, right? And I'm sitting there like not appreciating that enough Then I get the call, and as soon as I got the call and I had to make a decision to leave, I was like, yo, I think I love LA.
Man,
You know,
hey, bro.
yeah,
So check it out,
yeah.
and really quick, real quick, man. And I feel you. Believe me, I am here now. I've been here since the beginning of the pandemic, and I ain't going back to the cold of Chicago. Fuck that.
That's the Windy City, baby.
Here. Yeah, I'm here in LA chilling. But before we continue, finally, she has returned.
Oh,
We have the co-host with the most, the one that Paul Heyman himself said belongs working in the WWE. I don't know why she's not NXT anymore.
Interesting. See, that's two of us.
Himself. We are talking about none other than my sister from another mister, the co-host with the mostest, Miss Dre Day. Dre, what's going on?
The party has begun. We can really start partying now. What's going on, y'all?
What's really good?
Mr. Mack, man, happy to have you here.
Happy to be on.
Have you here.
Your voice is angelic. I didn't know your voice was so angelic.
Oh, thank you.
That's why. Surgeon. No wonder they don't care about you when you come on the. That's why.
Man,
y'all so crazy. I love it.
I want to hear me.
Tell me more about my eyes. Yes, please.
Like, gas me up, man. I'll take that all day long.
I'll take these flowers. Thank you. Thank you very much. How y'all doing?
Real well.
Dre, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Like I said, I appreciate you as always. Before we kind of move on, you got any questions for the Mack man?
Well, I just, I came in, while you guys were talking and, y'all were talking about that lovely LA struggle, which, I experienced that lovely LA struggle for about 3 years. And then I actually did what Serge just said he would never do again. I'm back in the Windy City. I'm in Chicago. And you know what? Listen, LA
I ain't going back.
Listen, and that's great. You love it over there. I loved it too. It was a great place. But I'm going to tell you something. Ain't no food like Chicago food. I'm sorry. I'm not. I know this is off topic.
I haven't had good pizza. You actually, no, my mom had to bring me for my birthday. My mom flew here and had to bring me pizza.
Oh, she's an angel.
She absolutely.
That is actually incredible, actually.
She brought me frozen Lumonatis right there.
Oh, so you got to make it fresh then. Oh, you good.
Yeah. I feel like every Chicagoan that moves to LA gets that shipped by like a homie or gets it brought to you. Because it's like you just have to have it. You're over there struggling for good pizza. Like, can I get
Chicago pizza hit like that, huh?
It
Chicago
does.
pizza
All
is the
pizza.
best pizza in the
Not
world.
Not just deep dish. Let's make it very clear.
Not just deep dish.
Let's make it very
clear. You got to let them know. We don't just have deep dish.
Me right now, for real.
Yeah, man.
So real quick, for those who do not know, to let you guys know about Chicago, and I can look right in the camera for this shit.
Do it right now. Right in the camera.
Look, the reason Chicago pizza is the best, not only do we have the fantastic deep dish that we all know and love.
I heard about
it. Only pizza.
You gave yourself the main camera.
Celebration pizza. I know I had to let them know. That pizza.
Very serious situation.
Not only do you have, because we think deep dish is the only thing. Deep dish is celebration pizza.
That's what I was told. That's what I was told.
Graduation, holidays. Yeah, you get that. But see, we have the bar pizza. Like you get the bar, the little like it's thin crust.
This is incredible.
The thin crust. We do slices better than New York. I said it. I said what I said. I said it. I stand on it.
New York got shit on us.
The thing about it is I can't even refute anything you're saying because I've only had one of the two. So until I have a Chicago pizza, I can't even you can't comment unless you've tried them both.
Hey, like I said, we ever all convene in Chicago for one of these Forbidden Door AEWs.
Worth it.
It's going to be worth it. We have to make that happen. And anybody in the comments trying to refute it, okay, nobody is.
I'm looking at the chat.
Everybody got sense.
All right, just making sure.
Everybody got sense over here. I see what's going on.
And again, everybody who is watching live right now on the Fight Podcast or the Scrap News' YouTube page, thank you guys so much for watching live. We have the incredible Evan Mack joining us on the show today. Please check out also the Ringer Podcasts, Mack Mania Podcast. Yes, check it out. I'm telling you, it is my absolute favorite pro wrestling show. It's pro wrestling and sports entertainment show out there, aside from my own. Love it. So let's talk about this really quick.
I know.
Since
I went way off topic, but it just
no.
okay.
We talking pizza. We talking food. The chat would never argue. I can take no chat on earth will argue with any food debate. I'm sorry, nobody, because we deviate about food. Everyone's like, people are like, wait a minute now.
Set straight up. And we saw the chat got live and everything.
And y'all forget. Well, actually, I went to culinary. I'm a chef. I went to culinary school.
Look at this fun
legitimate
fact.
Chef.
Fun
this
fact.
guy.
You know,
Yes.
So when y'all be seeing me, chef's kiss, I mean that shit.
Joey L's in the chat says orders pizza real quick. Like it's over. The pizza conversation's over, brother.
Go ahead and Joey, get your pizza, Get your pizza.
Go ahead and get it, Joey. I ain't mad at you, bro. All right, let's check it out. Let's go ahead since we're all here. The band is here. Let's go ahead and actually jump into it a little bit. And since I have you, brother, I gotta pick your wrestling brain.
Please.
I have to. And we have Backlash coming up.
We do.
And
WrestleMania Backlash.
WrestleMania
Backlash. I'm sorry. I have to say the entire
thing. That's the mandate. You know, that's the mandate.
It's like a pimp named Slick Black. Say the whole thing. You know, you gotta
say. That's exactly what it's like. That's it. Yes. So, okay. So, WrestleMania Backlash is this Sunday. It's not a pay-per-view. It is a premium live event. And there are some interesting matchups. So let me ask you guys this. Even before we get to that, there's been a lot of buildup and waiting for all of this to happen. And some of the storylines have been surprisingly good. I'm not even going to stunt. So before we even get into the event itself this weekend, I really have to ask you guys, what's better right now, Raw or SmackDown? Whoever wants
ladies first.
Ladies first, please. You know, we got a lot of talking in before you got here, so we want to make sure you get to be able to get what you got to say.
Yeah, Serge and I, we've been talking about it for the last few weeks, how, and quiet as it's kept kind of thing, but Raw's been kind of doing what it needs to do lately. I think that show is always at a disadvantage because it's 3 hours long, so it's always going to be at a bit of a disadvantage because as though it shouldn't, because you got plenty of talent and plenty of creative people to be able to do what they do. We're smoking and eating with Serge. There you go, Katie.
That's the next episode. We need to do a spinoff of this. Smoking and eating with Serge. That's absolutely going to be it, guys.
I feel like we missed our window. 420, like a couple weeks ago, we could have done that then.
I'm telling you, man, that pizza talk, that's all you got to do, man. I'm telling you.
Everybody's like, right, wrestling, but the food, though.
Yeah, we talk about Backlash. Okay, let's just, but what about that pizza?
Too, but the food though. Low. I really, honestly, I would say especially after, I would say last week's SmackDown kind of did it for me. I think Raw I would say 3 to 4 Raws in a row have been really, really, really good. Yeah. Really interesting. Yeah. One of those things where I look up and go, oh, the 3 hours is over, which I thought I'd never say because 3 hours again is just a really long show. But I think I've been really enjoying it. Evan, you'll know that between Serge and myself, I'm the nice one. So I tend to enjoy everything. I'm always like, but Serge, see this, and that. He's like, I guess, okay.
You really got to sports entertainment me, okay? It has to be really good, just wrestling, or the best of sports entertainment.
I respect. And I just hope everybody has fun. That's me. Everybody have a good time, and I'm having a good time. It's gonna be a good time. No, but in real life, I think the last few SmackDowns have left me wanting more. Have left me kind of that's it. Raw, though, on the other hand, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing. Whether I liked it or disliked it, it's like, oh, I guess this is what we're doing, And a sleeper thing, I'm sorry, because I'm silly, I'm goofy. The 24/7 stuff, it's not for everybody.
No.
But when I tell you, I've been having a ball, just it's the fact that at least there is a cohesive story of some sort happening.
For the first
to me,
time
I'm just
ever, yes.
Give it to me. Okay, it brings me back to the hardcore title stuff we grew up watching, in the PG version of it, of course. But it's just fun. It's all good times. It's fun. And I don't necessarily know where it's going, but adding Nikki Ash to the situation, this last week or so, that's been cool. It's just adding different elements to it. I think it's really fun. So to answer your question, Serge, long story short, I've been enjoying Raw. I think Raw's been better the last month or so.
I mean, I can't refute that, Evan, man. Like, I mean, what do you think about this?
No,
like, how has it been for you?
It's been great. Like I said, listen, but the hell, they got 3 hours, man. So y'all better be doing something. Man. Y'all got 3 hours to film. So I thought it was dope to see Asuka back, man. And can't nobody deny that the introduction of Cody Rhodes has not flipped the script. Because I'm telling you right now, man, I'm one of the people on the short list that think Seth Rollins is doing his best work of his entire career. Oh, and that was before Cody. And that was before Cody. And Seth's never been off, to be honest with you. I'm talking about I didn't sell out. I bought in with the corporate thing. That was fire. When he was with the Shield, that was fire. When he's by himself, that was fire. This drip thing, this dude is on another level, truly. Absolutely. And so Cody's just enhancing that. So it's so hard for me to go against what's going on with Raw. We got the Asuka back. We got Rhea as a heel, which I love. Yeah. Even Edge and Priest, because I like Priest. I think Priest is he has a lot to offer. I don't even want him with Edge, to be honest with you. I like when he's just rolling around doing his Puerto Rican thing with Bad Bunny. I know they can't always bring back Benito, but listen, I want Benito every week. Benito, come on, where you at, Benito? But listen, but I cannot in good conscience.
I second that motion.
But I mean, I need Benito all day. Listen, but I cannot in good conscience say anything without the tribal chief is better. Because I need to, man, I'm trying to tell you right now, the tribal chief, wherever he goes, is where the needle moves. Some of the best work, and I don't think anybody, even people that love AEW, even people that love their Impact, they cannot deny the greatest wrestler in the world, the greatest sports entertainer on earth is Roman Reigns. And because of that,
say it again for the ones in the back,
bro. Like, and I know it pains.
So you speaking Surge language right now.
I know it pains people, and I know it pains them. But that man is the needle mover, just like the shirt. Go buy the shirt on shop.wwe.com, and they don't even pay me for this, Sergio.
I mean, I damn near could finish the show here.
I did that for free, baby.
You can just.
WWE,
everybody pick up their mics, drop them down.
Everybody thinks everybody be on the show. Everyone that be hating on the show, we act like I'm a shield for WWE. Listen, I'm putting it out there. WWE fired me. So why the hell would I cape up for them? Why would I do that? That's how much I love Roman Reigns. He transcends a pink slip.
Yo,
that's a bar. Hold on.
That is a straight up. That is a bar. That's a bar and a half.
Yo, that should be a shirt.
We are not breathing by that. Excuse me.
That should be his next shirt. We need to hit up WWE. Be like, yo, guys, we got his next shirt. We have it.
Tribal tree transcends a pink slip. But just copyright it.
He's so great. But like I said, but it's so hard. But I will say this though, before I give it back to you, sir. Like I will say this. It used to be like easy. It used to be everyone used to be SmackDown. That was it. But very, very quickly, Raw has gained steam. And I have to give it to Cody. Asuka got a huge pop. Rhea's always been over, and and I'm not glossing over. Probably the greatest female wrestler on earth is over there, and she just so happened to look like me. That's not my fault. If Bianca was white, I'd say the same thing, but she ain't.
Say it again for the ones in the back.
Y'all guys are focusing on the
language.
You're focusing on the wrong thing. She just so happens to be a sister, but she transcends all race. If you watch their crowd, if you watch her fan base, that's what's so beautiful about Bianca Belair. Everyone loves Bianca. Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yo, when I saw bald-headed white guys at WrestleMania.
That's all you know. That's all you need to know.
Flipping their hair. That is all I needed to know. Dude, she is a generational talent.
No,
she's incredible.
And it's so authentic. Like you believe her.
Yes.
You believe her.
Absolutely.
Like that's the one. It's one of the things I love about her. You believe her. You believe everything she says. You believe her. And yes, like you said, she just so happens to look like me.
Hey, my man.
But
it ain't your fault.
She just so happens to look like me. But it's not just that. It's just it's the whole thing. It's we talk about this, Serge. We talk about this on our show all the time. The ones, the characters we tend to love and gravitate to are the ones we either want to be like or want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Or are us. They
Big
fall
facts.
into that character some kind of way, and those. you've mentioned a whole bunch of amazing ones that do all of that.
To your point, Queen, absolutely, like when I was growing up, you know, I like the Virgils and the Coco Bewares of the world, but they resonate with me. And that was probably specifically because of the color. The Black Power Ranger was my guy because he was black.
Zach, yes.
No, until Tommy came around, he was swagging.
Yo, right?
Tommy was swagging.
Why everybody?
Because I tell people to go to Tommy.
That he was Latin. I'm like, maybe he's Puerto Rican. Man, I don't know. I'll take that.
He really swagging on him. And you know, as a brother, you're like, yo, I think Tommy's that dude.
Tommy might be that dude. That's so funny.
He was like Dragon Sword. I was like, oh, you're Mastodon.
I mean,
you're Mastodon.
That white and gold. It's the white and gold. You couldn't.
White and gold, green and gold. He had his own. Well, everyone else had like feet and ankles. He had his own Zord, man.
Yo. He was different. He was different.
You know what I mean? So like, but to your point though, Queen, when you said like people that you want to hang with. So when we didn't have that dope representation, like I gravitated towards the Mr. Perfects of the world because he had a little bit of swag, or especially when Razor Ramon came. Razor had like swag like my dad when I was younger. Yeah. You know, and he reminded me of my father. See, because I tell people it's not always about race. When it's them people that just connect to the culture or some part of the culture. You're like, Razor Ramon got a little bit of swag. I was too young to watch Scarface. I didn't know it was a Scarface thing.
Yeah,
I just thought he was swagging on him. Yeah, he was.
I always say they act like they've been in the room before. That's you know the ones the wrestlers that always resonate with the culture are always it transcends race. It's always if they act like they've been in the room before or they seem like they've been in the room before. You just mentioned that he reminds you of your uncles and them. That's what Big Show and you know. Him, Scott Hall, and them, they remind me of the same thing. Kevin Nash. I was like, yeah, my dad and my Uncle Dwayne's and them and my uncles and them would be hanging out with them all day long.
100%.
And that's just been in the room before. That's what resonates with people, but definitely with us. We just love authentic, feel goodness like that and cool and swag. You know, we love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you carry yourself with it's a specific demeanor. You can just tell it oozes off of those individuals. And again, that's what makes a transcendent star. But Bianca absolutely has the aura of a transcendent star. Unfortunately, some people don't have the same aura, and it seems like WWE keeps cutting them. So, I do have to ask you guys this a little detour there for you guys. I have to ask this, and I'd be remiss if I asked. I mean, the WWE continues making big cuts of people that you were sometimes really curious about them cutting. Like for me specifically, Malcolm Bivens, even though I know he didn't re-sign, but he was really good at what he does. And then you go down the list of some of the other individuals that, and we can talk about what's next for them possibly, because, oh my God, I would love to see Malcolm Bivens with Jade or some shit like that.
Of course.
Please sign me up. But in that sense, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts of these? Because it can't always be budget cuts.
Well, for a company like that, for a company like that, it's not about, I don't want to hear about money. You can't talk about money when you always talk about how much money you have.
For sure.
Well, that's when you with a person that's broke that talks about their being broke all the time. If they roll up with a Mercedes-Benz, you don't feel bad for them. You know what I mean? So when you talking about when you start doing all this Wolf on Wall Street type stuff in the fiscal year of the quarter of the blah 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 blah, we cleared this much money and $1 billion in revenue, and then we made this partnership and we got this revenue and it crossed the T and carried a 4 and that makes 8. Like when you start doing all that stuff and start making all kinds of numbers and stuff, ain't nobody trying to hear budget cuts when you let go of one of their favorite superstars. Nobody. Plus, even if it wasn't their favorite superstar, we don't care about all that numbers. We don't care. That ain't our money. We don't care about that.
Nope.
No.
We don't care how well WWE is doing. Good for y'all. Can we get some of that? If we can't get none of that, then we as fans don't care how much Spider-Man grossed. We just like the movie.
We like the movie.
We like the movie. Yeah. It's just past so-and-so. We're like, good for Sony, good for Marvel, good for Disney. So we don't really care. All we care about is that human being that lost their job. That's what we think about. Because if you have any kind of empathy at all, that's what you're thinking about. And so when it comes to like the Bivens, when you hear about Bivens, he took matters into his own hand. That's a different story. Bivens is betting on himself. A man that's been in the business that long, a man that's that smart. I would have to say he must have something in the works. Yeah. I don't think a person that's smart. I've had the pleasure to meet him. One of the most humble brothers you ever met. Very shrewd operator. I don't think he would just quit when someone was offering him a job on the main roster.
Right.
So I don't want to. So I can't give any condolences to him. The code is a different story. You hear it about they didn't think she was ready for the main roster. That's different. That's personal. That's personal, and that's a blow to her for a person that's worked on the craft and for years and years and years. And if that's the real sentiment, because dirt sheets are dirt sheets, but if that's even close to like real, that you feel bad for. Dexter Loomis never really being able to get off the ground.
Yeah.
A lot of these wrestlers not being able to get off the ground. WWE's new initiative of trying to bring athletes from college and thinking they can mold them into superstars. It's guys, y'all listen, man. Kurt Angle he ain't coming through that door, man.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle ain't coming through that door.
One.
Yo, and I can't stunt. When I saw Gable recently,
I love Gable.
I like him. I'm concerned, and I think they need to make sure they work on his mouthpiece. If he goes out there and he works on that physical attributes, like my man has, I'm just concerned.
Are y'all talking about two different Gables? Because Serge, you're talking about Gable.
Are you talking about Gable Stevenson?
Yeah, and I think
I was talking about Chad. You talking about
you're talking about Chad. Exactly.
And that's another reason why I'm worried about my man Gable, because they got the same name. I'm terrified for Chad. Terrified.
It's going to be the Gable Bowl. You know it is. Gable versus Gable for the name of the rights
for the
of
name.
Gable.
I think he.
SummerSlam.
Yo, it's interesting seeing it. Now, let's say this. I know that we have seen some really dope shit coming up, and we're talking about the Tribal Chief. And I think, honestly, one of the most fun storylines and fun things coming out of the last 6 months has been RK Bro. There's nothing. I mean, Randy right now is having the most fun of his life. He is smoking the best kush with, Riddle right now, and they're just living it up. It must be fantastic.
He's happy, man.
He's so happy. Now, I was hype. We saw they were going to do the unification, and they were building it beautifully. And I think that they were carrying both shows, and I'm like, holy shit. Roman could have literally sat this weekend out. All of a sudden, Drew McIntyre comes in there doing his whole ordeal. Guys, I have to ask, wait, that's not the one. What happened to the unification?
Queen, go ahead, take it away.
What happened? Am I tripping?
Remember when I said I was the nice one? Like this is the one that might break me, because I'm like,
let it go.
This one might break me for about 2 minutes. No, we talked about this for the last few weeks about the fact that WWE has too many titles in general, and the unifications of some of the big ones would be a good thing, and let the tag teams build more tag teams, number one, and then two, allow them to have a top prize, right? And the fact that we were gonna get a really good match, if not great, possibly legendary, the match between the Usos and RK Bro, because obviously the talent and the capabilities are there to have a match of the year candidate type of thing. You know what I mean? And then it's like you feel like you got your Christmas gift. You watch your mom and dad buy it. You wrapped it up. You're like, you know what? I'll wait for Christmas. I'm straight. I'm cool with that. I don't mind waiting for Christmas, because Christmas night, I'm about to wear these shoes. It's gonna be exciting. Absolutely. And then they're not there. Like, you get a whole nother pair of shoes. And like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the 6-man situation. I think that would, it's a fun match, but don't sell me one thing and then give me another. And you sold it for a long time. It wasn't one of those like 1 week joints. It was like they sold it for a minute. They've been selling it since Mania, the week after Mania or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was built up, and they were actually, for once, they were doing amazing storytelling. And it was good. And you were even with the little sprinkles of the Street Profits in it as well. You have the little Street Profits with a little added edge coming in. Like, I was loving every component of that. And then all of a sudden, it just snatched the rug up under us. I like, they've been doing so good. but I should have known. They are like what was my man Dennis Green say back in the day. They are who we thought they were. They did exactly what they did once again. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what happened. And so it's really like, to me, I feel a way about it. But let me ask you this, guys. What, if not this match, what match are we most looking forward to for WrestleMania Backlash? And let me let y'all know real quick, just for the people listening as well. I want to make sure I got notes. I got to make sure I let y'all know.
Yup, Serge got notes, y'all. Come on.
I got my notes. So we got Bobby Lashley versus Omos, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, AJ Styles versus Edge, Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, The Bloodline versus RK Bro, Drew McIntyre, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. That is the lineup for this Sunday. Which one of those are we like, you know what? That's going to steal the show.
Yeah, the thing about it is, I think Cody and Seth could do it like they did before, but but like I said, I only think it'll be dope if Seth wins by hook or by crook. So I get the third win at SummerSlam. You know what I mean? For to end the trilogy with Cody being on top. Now I know they're Cody's on a historic run, and I believe everyone needs to chill and slow burn. If and when he beats Roman Reigns, it has to happen. In my perfect world, it happens at WrestleMania. In my perfect world, it happens after Roman Reigns beats The Rock, and then Cody cashes in on Roman. And like that right there, like he rock bottoms his cousin and then pieces out. And then Cody's music drops and then he cashes in. That's my perfect scenario for that moment. I would literally spontaneously combust. I'd probably explode. Like if I died, if someone walked up and killed me and I was in heaven, I'd be like, am I dead? I'm like, that's a good way to go. That's a good way to go. If that went, like, I could die happy, man. But like so I think
need that to happen now.
Facts.
Yeah, like now I don't want anything else to happen.
Oh my God, it'd be ridiculous. Like I know he doesn't need the money in the bank. He doesn't need the money in the bank, but I think it'd be a good way to have Roman not lose clean. You know, dominate, win against his cousin, be the ultimate tribal chief, and then Cody kind of steal in the chat. I'm cool with that. But yo, Torres, buddy,
yes,
I can tell you with all certainty, Vince don't even know I exist. They didn't know what they was doing up in there, bro. Vince is trusting people below him to handle business, and they didn't know what they had with the boy, man. They had me for pennies on the dollar, baby. But listen,
and now the Ringer is happy. The Ringer chilling now. The Ringer like, yo. We doing it.
Scoop that up and say, thank you. Appreciate you.
Listen, man, listen. The renewal's coming up in August. I'm on my best behavior. I'm like the show renewal. I'm like, yo, Spotify, hook a brother up. But I'm thinking like, I think it's okay for Cody to lose, even if he cheats. Oh, that's my best homie right there. I really disagree with Mack, but Cody's journey can't win without a clean win. Man, shut up, Jordan. But that's my best friend. Shut up. I know him for 22 years, and he's talking out his butt. Listen, all I need Seth to do is win. He can win by hook or by crook. I don't care if it's a roll up. I don't care if it's tights. I don't care if it's feet on the ropes. And then we go to Nashville.
Backwoods.
Who doesn't want to see a trilogy with Cody and Seth though? Who does not?
You have to.
It makes
you have
sense.
to do it. It makes all the sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, please. You got it.
No. The only thing I'm just reiterating. I mean, that's the perfect scenario. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, I would love to end up seeing that happening. That would be great. That should steal the show.
Should.
After, remember Mania, I was hyped for AJ Styles and Edge. I'm not hyped for it anymore.
Because AJ should have won the first one. AJ should have won the first one.
I'm also, let me add, and it needs to be a little more fast paced. I love me some Edge, and I love
that's
me some
Edge's
AJ
fault,
Styles.
man. That's Edge's fault.
I was just gonna Edge is susceptible to these like little super slow burn. I call them super slow burns. I like a slow burn match, but
I want to tell a story in the ring, brother. I'm like, all right, you told it. It doesn't have to be Shawshank Redemption.
I'm telling you,
it doesn't have to be the Titanic. It don't have to be. It don't have to be.
So I really like him, but he's talking about
the
omnipotence and all kinds of nonsense. And now, granted, him making fun of people last week, I giggled.
He's a genius.
Yeah,
but in the ring, bro, I'm methodical. I'm trying to show you the beauty of the collar and elbow, brother. I'll go, bro. No one should make. I'm a firm believer, and I mean this as God is my witness. AJ Styles can get a match out of me tomorrow. Tomorrow. That's how great he is. Don't make my man look pedestrian like that. Do not do that, man.
That's real.
He is too damn good.
Are
for
we
too
excited
long.
about the
For too long.
Oh, are we excited about the him and Finn? Are we excited about that possibility, that little team up that we see?
If they're not just teasing us for like, if they ain't just messing with us.
Could you get? Thank you. Because I mean, 2016 is when it should have happened, right? Like when we had we had the brothers there too. We had everybody there. That's when they should have happened. They teased it for like 4 seconds then, and then they let it go.
Give my man Fergalicious something to do, please. Call him. That's Fergalicious, man. He is one of the most over. This is one of the most over dudes on earth. And I'm like, but his size. I go, if he's over, it just don't matter, man. Put it like this. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. I'm 6'4" and some change. I don't like my chances against Fergal in the fight at all. So I don't want to hear nothing about no size. I'll tell you right now, I outweigh him a good bit. I think he beat the brakes off me. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck on the show right now. So what I'm trying to say, don't give me that size foolishness.
Nah.
Yeah.
And to his
got a
credit,
motor, they got a motor.
That part, and then like you said, he's one of the most over wrestlers. Always, no matter how many, he has lost so much. He's lost so much, and every time that man's music drops, the crowd goes stupid.
Without the demon,
single time. Without the demon,
yes,
without it. So what are we missing? Like, what are we missing
about
here?
him? There's something about him that resonates with the crowd. I don't know what it is. Don't give a damn. Something connects with the crowd, man. And he's over. And like there's something when it comes to the back, there's stuff that happens in the back that a lot of people don't know that doesn't show up on the dirt sheets. That it's like there's this thing they don't like. They don't like you having too much of creative control unless you're a certain person. Like I talked to Mr. Heyman before, and he was like, listen, I want y'all to know, I want you to know, they don't write anything for me and Roman at all. Mm-hmm. He goes, and don't let nobody tell you they do. He goes, that is me and Roman Reigns. He goes, we go out there and we do it. He goes, you know why? Because Vince trusts us to do it. He said it with his chest, and I was like, that makes me even more happy that is Roman for real cooking and Heyman cooking. He goes, but for some reason, everyone doesn't get that. Like Bray didn't get that. EC3 didn't get that. Fergalicious doesn't get that. Like a lot of these wrestlers don't get that kind of trust. And I do think sometimes they miss the mark on that, because I think Bray does know his character. I think Ferg does know what he wants to do. Ferg's he looks like he's 7 years old, but he's been wrestling for 20 years.
Right.
But he's so great with that character, and even like you said, everything that he does when his music drops, you cannot tell me you haven't jumped up on the couch and done the whole, his whatever thing. Like it's awesome, and he's such a great performer. Dre and I've been on here. We talked about people who do things technically. He can do it all. He's such a good technical wrestler. All the little, if you want to get like textbook things, he does that. He can fly. He can get grown man on you. Everything that dude does, he does with perfection. And I really wish they didn't just scuff him all the time. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like he definitely deserves. He's like, Ali was that guy for me also. But like those are two guys that I look at that I'm like, they're so good. Like,
just give them the ball.
Respect on their name.
Give them the ball for like. Just give him the ball for like a half minute.
And I respect Ali. I know he's very militant in the regards of that. I 100% agree with. He does not want to be categorized as a stereotypical Muslim. He's been fighting his whole career, many promotions, and I don't think he should fold on that. And I also don't think he should be punished for that either. You know what I mean? And he's being punished for sticking to his guns and not wanting to walk around like a terrorist. I can't fault him for that. So he has a different problem than Ferg. Like Ferg, what happened to Ferg? He tore his labrum. That's all that happened.
That's it.
Damn. Took some cool pictures in Ireland afterwards, and then I ain't see him for a minute.
And let's be clear, that man carried NXT for one of its most popular runs. Like carried it like straight up, and it was amazing. And that demon character, which they just didn't
It's
take
corrupted
care
the
of.
character. Yeah, it's not the
Didn't
same.
take care of, but when it was taken care of, it was so fly because you were always like, here it comes, it's coming. And he didn't have to rely on it either. Because like you said, he's over just
everything
by
just let him
himself.
cook.
Leather jacket
Let him
and trunks.
cook.
Man just goes out. And it's
Fergalicious. That's what I call him. Fergalicious. That's what I call him.
Dude is awesome. Well, look, Evan, but because we don't have too much more time with you here. I want to make sure we do get this in here. But again, thank you, Brand, for so much for joining us on the show. This has been awesome. Like
we cooking, man. We cooking, baby. Do what you gotta do. We cooking.
We have a good time, man. But let's talk about this because we were just not a totally biased show. I mean, granted, I've said behind here time and time again that I only watch WWE, and you know what? From time to time, maybe I watch the other show. Don't let Drea tell you anything otherwise. Don't let her talk about what I text in the group chat about AEW. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, usually we'll talk about it. AEW. I'm not going to stunt, guys. People have been hating, but honestly, I've been enjoying it. Okay. And I got to ask you guys, what have been the best AEW storylines as of right now? Because there's a bunch of them.
Which ones?
I got notes. I can tell y'all.
Please, what story is going on AEW?
Oh boy.
Story. Okay, I got one. Okay,
the one day I don't have tea on me.
The one that Swerve Keith Lee Team Taz with that whole they got going on. I fucks with it. I like what they do.
No, I like the aesthetic. You said storyline, like beginning, middle, end, like denouement, like an intro.
They don't got none of that. They just, I'm talking about, we got how it is when you got at the house, you got like message boards and little sticky notes. They got a whole bunch of great sticky notes right now.
Okay. I'll take some sticky notes. I'll take some sticky notes.
Okay, here, let me change it. I'm sorry, I won't say the storyline. Who has the best sticky notes?
I'm not
sticky
about to
note
do this
that
for
you
sure.
are going with right now.
MJF and Wardlow is probably the one of the longest. As much as I hate this handcuff fiasco, this handcuff poppycock. One thing I do like is MJF sitting up with his popcorn, like chilling in his b-boy stance. I do like that,
popcorn and white wine.
Yeah. I'm like,
okay,
just hustling backwards, but that's okay, bro. You need to have like that's how you know they're almost at the flagships level. They're almost there, but they always do things like that where I'm like, y'all ain't gonna get there because if that was WWE, he'd have caviar. He'd have caviar, or he'd have grapes, or he have grapes
in a skybox.
Yeah,
in a skybox, and it'd be a camera showing showing his reaction, and not actually.
He'd have he'd have a beautiful server. It'd be like cheese and crackers and wine.
Yeah,
right.
This dude eating
he'd be
popcorn
kicking in Jade's baddie section or something, just like with the
This dude eating popcorn and Chardonnay. That don't slap.
Stomach just messed up.
Oh, and I will say this on a sidebar. Y'all can hear it here first on the Royal Rundown. My man Sergio Vicente. Listen, they will lose that man to WWE.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while.
Like 1,000%. Guarantee you, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You know why it's a wrap? Think about it. But Evan, what do you mean? Is it the money? No, it's not about the money. Think about it. The feud with CM Punk, he should have won that.
Yeah.
Jericho should have won that. If he loses to Wardlow, Lord Jesus, which he very well might, guys, he already should have been AEW champion already.
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely.
What?
This is spicy, y'all. Hold on. Let me.
What?
Okay.
What the hell are you doing? How is MJF not been AEW champion? How?
And honestly, it doesn't seem like he's getting any closer to it either.
Not even cool, because CM Punk's about to win it.
But see, that's what I think. That's who's gonna beat him. So I think I agree. I think MJF is in the short line to be AEW champion at least in the next year. In the next,
damn, how long though? Dre,
at least
how long does he wrestle?
Because I also think that Punk is gonna be. I think Punk's gonna be Hangman, and I think we're gonna run the Punk MJF joint back for the belt.
I really
think that's what it's gonna happen.
Oh, if
they
happens,
don't do that, then I think you're absolutely right. We're gonna lose him. We're gonna lose. AEW's gonna lose him for real.
If that loss for him with him to come back to beat Punk, I will shut the hell up for eternity.
Yeah.
I'll never comment on it again.
Hold on. I put it in your brain. So when it happens,
it happens. You're gonna have to come back on here. We got to talk about it.
But I'll just be holding up. I'll just be holding up cue cards though.
I'm gonna have white wine and popcorn. Like
I'll just be holding up signs because I ain't gonna be able to talk because I'm like, damn it happened. Long-term booking, baby. If MJF loses the Wardlow, I'm gonna be devastated.
I think he is though, because I feel like they're gonna use MJF's popularity to put over Wardlow or whatever. But yeah.
So wait,
your boy said I said it first.
He probably did.
I don't know.
But I probably did steal it from him. Like when the hell's the last time MJF has won? When is
I mean, I agree.
I mean, a big time match.
He needs to win. He needs to win some big time matches like all day long.
But that's
no, he didn't beat Cody.
You can't keep you can't keep telling me the whole. But you can't keep telling me the whole. He doesn't need to win because he's over BS. I hate that. That used to piss me off about the Undertaker. Oh, he doesn't need to win the title. I go, shut, man, what? No, y'all just doing that because y'all don't stop telling me MJF doesn't need to win because he's so over as a heel. Like, no, he needs to win because the way he talks. This is the whole thing with Bray Wyatt. That's a
great point.
Yeah, when you're the eater, it's all about, if that wasn't your persona, I wouldn't care. But when you come out saying you're the eater of worlds and you have the whole world in your hands and everyone's dancing, Bray Wyatt should never even lost at WrestleMania. He should have had he should have had a win streak almost like the Undertaker. He should have been the next Undertaker.
Without question.
And I know Vince, absolutely. And I know Vince loves the Undertaker, but I'm not talking about duplicating that's his biggest creation next to Hogan. I'm not talking about, I can already tell that's what it was about because they purposely made this dude take L's at WrestleMania. I know it. I'm just saying like he should have been building a streak, 5, 6, 7,
absolutely,
and then losing. But so that makes me think about MJF. Don't tell me because he's such a draw, he don't have to win. All he talks about is how he's better than everyone. When your shtick is you're better than everyone, you gotta win.
Facts.
Whether it be by hook or by crook, they need to win.
I don't care how he wins. I don't care about steel chair. I don't care about the ring to the head. I don't care if I don't care how he wins. He has to win.
And that's how he should win against Wardlow. Shenanigans. It should be pure shenanigans.
Yes.
Get Spears involved, whatever. You know what I mean? 1,000%. Like, do it all. Because, I mean, the crowd loves Wardlow anyway. So if he loses by shenanigans, he's still over.
Absolutely.
He's still be over. So it'll still work.
They'll be like, oh, MJF's doing MJF things. They're like, oh, damn it, he got him. That's what how the heel works. They'll be like, damn it, he got him. He got him with the trunks and the feet on the rope. And everyone will be like, boo. And they'll be like, that's MJF for you. Like, but if you have him just get squashed.
Right.
They can't do that though. You think they
can't do that? I hope they don't.
They usually don't have false matches. Right? They usually don't have that at pay-per-views. They have 97,000 false finishes. Drive me crazy. That's what they usually do. All I ask AEW, I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much from y'all. But let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something, AEW fans and AEW top brass. Let me tell you something. You can't do 16 finishing moves and they kick out. That it's not a finishing move. Power bomb into curb stomp into spear through a firing pit of hell for a
Canadian destroyer.
into a Canadian destroyer in Canada for a 2 count, brother, sister, brother. Are you kidding me? And know that's not even exaggeration.
No,
it's not. That's like really spot on.
I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, man, I can't even. Yeah.
It drives me
crazy.
That was the finish last weekend, right?
Like that was Wednesday.
Like, oh my God, he speared him into hell, and the ref like travels down. It's like 1, 2, and he's like, and he gets his shoulder up. I lose my mind. I lose it. Damn.
Yeah, they could do a couple too less of those.
That's all I ask for. Don't give me like no joke. Don't give me because I'm being for real. Don't give me 10 false finishes.
Right.
They do like 10 in a match, man. 12. I'm like, bruh. But this is
about the.
Go.
What was that?
No, I said
No,
no.
I was
I'm
like,
gonna
I
be
feel
counting
this-
next time. Next time we really count like 1. Nope,
for sure. I'm
now we're on 4.
No, count for real. Like I got to, there's one match. All jokes aside, I'm being silly, but I got to like 9. No joke.
Jeez.
9.
That's right. It was a Young Bucks Lucha Bros match.
Gee whiz, how'd you know? And that's my favorite tag team on earth.
And I love them.
Lucha Bros, I'm on record, man. Penta and Rey Fenix, that's my favorite tag team on the planet. They got so much swag, that Mexican heritage, the way they rep that culture and the way it's authentic and the way they're such a talent. I love that tag team. I would like if I had seriously, you can empty my bank account for them versus the Usos, man, for real.
Oh, come on.
I would kill to see that match. I would kill like a baby deer to see that match, yo.
Not Bambi.
I know, yo, because they're over. I had to think of something that's overpopulates the world. You know what I mean?
Bambi is not safe. 47 super kicks.
That's real.
You're like, Evan, it's a super kick party. I'm like, nah, it's a super kick smorgasbord. It's a you right
block party.
It's
all the way down. All the way down the block.
You are not wrong.
The one thing I'll say I am not a fan of is that now that my man Xavier Woods has the backwoods as his finishing move, can we stop letting everybody else do the surprise roll? Stop it. Stop it. If that's his finishing move, and we've gone on record saying, okay, he's like coined it, stop letting Dana Brooke do it twice in the 24/7 match.
Get him.
You know what I'm saying? Is it just me? Like, come on. Because I'm here for the backwoods being the finishing move. I think it's dope as fuck.
Preaching
that's my thing. The way do you feel about those? That's how I feel about the backwoods. Protect the backwoods.
Cutting the promo right now.
I feel like that's another shirt. Protect the backwoods.
Protect the backwoods. I'm wearing. That's going to be on the EtsyShop.com. Make sure you check
there you
it
go.
out.
It'll be on.
It'll be on here in a minute. The Etsy shop / the Fight Podcast shop. Make sure you check it out. We're gonna have the Protect the Backwoods on there in a week's time.
I love that.
That's dope. No, I'm with you on that. That's my whole thing. When I'm going on that rant about that, I mean seriously, like I just like your finishing move should mean something, and I believe that it kind of takes away from what you're doing if it's a devastating maneuver and it's a kick out of 2. I know everyone's like but I go no. It's something about having a great match, which they do a lot. AEW has great wrestling matches, but I think they get bogged down in those false finishes to kind of like bring a pop. There's a reason why people talk about the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match as much as they do, because it had one of the most false finishes in history of WWE. And the way they built it, people were like, oh my God, he just kicked out of a tombstone. Or he just kicked out of the sweet chin. People were like, see, it meant
nobody
something.
does.
Yeah.
Nobody did before.
That's what I mean. When they build it like that, when he kicked there, like, and you see that on that shot of Undertaker's face, like, yo, he kicked out. It took how many tombstones to put him away? It meant something. With that, there's something. That's the only time I'm a wrestling purist. That's the only time I'm a wrestling snob when it comes to like too many finishing moves not being finishing moves. That's the only time.
Hey, hold on.
Oh Lord! Imagine how many finishing moves you need to do in the upcoming AEW mobile game to win.
All right, now listen, man. Put some respect on this game. Now everybody has a 2K engine. Not everybody has that 2K engine, Mr. Torres.
Get to stretching your thumbs. It's about to be a situation.
Oh, y'all hating me. Yeah.
That boy, like, all right, listen.
I'm trying to get Keith Lee on the podcast. I'm putting AEW over the next 5 seconds. Yo, look, AEW is dope. AEW is spectacular. I love them false finishes. I love everybody.
Keith
Tony
Lee,
Khan, I love you.
We love Keith Lee in this. We love Keith Lee over here in the Royal Rundown.
Here on the Royal Rundown, we are
the man.
I'm trying to get him on the show. Like, bring him behind on the show. I love AEW. Like, if he's on, if I somehow pull this off, you're gonna hear me like, yo, man, the product's incredible, man. Like, how do you? Your boy. I'm gonna be like, man,
hey, man, you do that work.
Yeah,
you gotta ask them about being the new outsiders. Be like, are you guys the new outsiders?
Just like that with that exact tone, man.
Are you so?
Mr. Lee, you are very limitless in what you do, and I just would like to understand, like, just let you know, I'm a big fan of the product and what you represent as an African American. You know,
run the whole gamut.
Forever, just check all them boxes.
Oh,
Your wife is beautiful. The wedding, I heard the nuptials was breathtaking.
Beautiful. You rocking the blue suit. It was awesome.
How's your health? Have you been recovering okay? Is your health good? I have a fantastic remedy that helps.
Just that, I'm writing this down, man. Everything you say, I'm saying all this. All this shit, yo.
Well, dude, I honestly, man, I really, oh my God, brother, I appreciate your time on the show today. This episode has been one of my favorite episodes of the Royal
Legendary.
Rundown. We are at the time that we have to call it quits, but my brother, thank you so much. Could you please let the people who are listening about your fantastic show? Please let the people know.
Thanks, brother. At Evan T. Mack on the social platforms, guys. We can just talk. Let's rap. Let's chat it up. Let's talk about everything, wrestling, everything, whatever, man. I don't care if you got a good recipe. Send me that. Let's talk.
Hey,
man.
Appreciate y'all for supporting the boy Sergio and Miss Dre. You guys keep holding them down. Keep engaging with them, man, as they continue to build and grow, just like we're all trying to continue to build and grow. And guys, and that your support means everything. And I really appreciate. Katie Vega says no, don't go. That's love. That's how you know y'all. That's how you know y'all doing y'all thing. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate y'all for the opportunity and the time, guys, for real.
Absolutely, man. Yo, dude, like, and again, I said it a couple times to show you, I love your show. And honestly, you are one of the people that I have, since I have followed this journey, I've looked at a couple of people that I really, I look up to, and I appreciate what they do and how they do it. And you, my friend, are absolutely one of those individuals. So please continue doing your thing, man, holding that light high, because like I said, people like me are looking up to you doing what you're doing, man. So brother, I appreciate you.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you so much, guys. For real, it means a lot. You keep doing y'all's thing, man. Anytime you need me to pop back in and put over the tribal chief, I shall do so. I'm available for tribal chief love.
Oh, all right. Hey, you know how we get down, because I am definitely here for that. But everybody else, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. You know how we get down each and every Tuesday after NXT. You can find us right here on the Scrap News and on the Fire Podcast YouTube page. Make sure you check out the Scrap News. They are one of the best, absolute best media outlets out there. Fantastic. If you want a fantastic written, combat news worthy stuff, it's all over there. Check that out. Love the Scrap News. Salute to my Scrap News fam. Everybody else, love y'all. You know how we get down. Oh, wait up. Miss Dre Day, should I tell her about what I got coming up?
I feel like you should. I feel like
break the news.
What you got going up.
I should break the news now.
I think so.
Exclusive.
A little exclusive. All right. You know what? We can do that. What I'll let y'all know is that starting this week, Thursday morning, I have a brand new show coming out Thursday morning, 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern. I have a new fight pick show called Who You Got. Who You Got is going to be a fantastic fight show. We have interviews. We have all kinds of good stuff. And my co-host for that fantastic show is none other than the legend herself, Kat Zingano. Me and Kat Zingano hosting the show. Check it out. Our first episode is out Thursday, and we have on the brand new Bellator bantamweight interim champion, Raytheon Superstats. Raytheon Stats is on the show. Wow. So support the show. That's going to be Who You Got. I'll have all kinds of shit out, so y'all follow that shit. Everybody else, thank y'all. Love y'all. Evan, my brother, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Everybody else, peace.